So in our Server Pro labs, we try to make the environment as realistic as it is to the real world today. For example, we have most of the servers in the Server Pro courses hosted on Hyper-V. Like you would see in a real networking environment, most of the time you don't see real physical servers anymore. Most of the services are hosted on virtual machines. So if you look at the virtual machines that are on this box, we have a domain controller, a web server, we have a couple of file servers, a DHCP server, and a Windows Update server. All of these are being run as virtual machines on the network here. And if you click on one of these, for example, Corp File 16, if you double click on this, you can open up that server and then you can interact with that server just like any other server on the network, and it's showing up as a virtual machine. I'm going to go ahead and close this one for a minute. I want to show you also that from here we can migrate to another virtual machine host. We're going to go up to the top level of the map and you'll see that there's a couple of buildings in this simulation. We're going to go to Building B. And in the Building B simulation, you'll notice there's another network room with another server here. And this server is also a virtual machine host server. And when I open up this machine, you'll see that it has several virtual machines running on it also, just like you'd see in today's environment. A couple more domain controllers, another DHCP server, and another Windows Update server. These are what's running in the other building in this simulation. So let's go back to Building A. And in Building A, what I want to do is from the Hyper-V server, we can actually migrate one of the virtual machines from one Hyper-V server to another. So we'll right-click, we'll select Move, which brings up a wizard. We'll tell it to move the virtual machine. We want to move it to the other server, so we'll type in Corp Server 2. Click on Check Names. You can see that it found it in the database, so we're good to go. We'll move the whole machine and all of its data, and then for our labs here, we typically put the data on D drive and the Hyper-V folder. So we'll go ahead and hit Next and Finish. And you'll notice here that Corp File 16 is no longer running on this virtual machine or in this virtual machine host, Corp server. So let's go to the other virtual machine host and take a look at what's over there. Back to Building B. And in Building B, we'll go back to the Corp Server 2 machine. You'll see that it's got the same 4 that was here. There's one minor little thing. We just need to do a quick refresh. And once we refresh the screen, you'll see that Corp File 16 is now moved from Building A to Building B. It's now being hosted on Corp Server 2. And if we double click on Corp File 16, it opens up and we can manage the Corp Files 16 server here in the new location. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of how a student can manage virtual machines in an environment like they would work in today's world.